Okay, got some exciting news that's going to demolish Apple Silicon once it's done. As you all know, Apple Silicon has its own chips that are not actually its own. They're ARM Silicon chips. And they lie about it being Apple Silicon. And they're very inefficient because they're ARM-based and they run on desktops all the way up to the high end. And they're just very slow because of that, and they don't allow external GPUs or discrete graphics on it. Even eGPUs on the MacBook Pro and Mac Studio are not supported. And then there's no user upgradability no matter what. I mean, the Mac Pro might have it, but I doubt it. Not what people are saying. It's like 50-50 chance now that the Mac Pro will be upgradable. Given what people say, they often go from it is going to be upgradable to it isn't. But Apple Silicon is just pathetic. And my idea, even if Apple does steal it before I can use it, they're still not going to be able to compete because they're not going to be able to get these computers to be expandable because it's not them that does that. But my idea is to have CPUs up to 32 cores on mainstream desktop that have four-way multi-threading and up to four-way multi-threading, and they would be able to unlock an infinite number of threads on it, given like when the processor needs more power. And then the K series and the X series CPUs, the K series has an unlocked thread multiplier, whereas the X is unlocked was like you can increase the core number of cores to 2 to 4 times as much and have an unlocked thread multiplier. And all the CPUs are overclockable. And these ones, instead of being socketed or soldered, they're on cards that go into slots. This makes it much easier to install and upgrade. And then RAM, well, it supports dual channel memory on mainstream desktop, more of it on workstation and server, and then 3 DIMMs per channel in mainstream desktop, more in server and workstation. It will really provide an excellent amount of memory. This means on DDR5, it'll support up to 24 terabytes of RAM. That's right. Per system. 6 RAM slots, DDR5, each supporting 4 terabytes. Because that's like the maximum DDR5 will have in the future. On ECC. And I'm talking about like supporting it, even if it's not an ECC supported system, it's still the ECC sizes. So, and the hard drives and the memory and hard drives have a concept where they will allow for infinite virtual memory coming from nowhere. And GPUs have a similar concept. Yeah, the GPUs will have a similar concept. And the GPUs will go up to 1024 bits. And while I was making this video, I got a new idea for making the GPUs have unlockable buses or bits on the high-end models at least. Maybe even all of them will have it. Don't know. Meaning you can have as many bits as possible given that the sizes line up. Like 24 gigabytes would be like 192, 384, 768, 1536, 3072, etc. And 32 would be like 256, 512, 1024, 2048, etc. Then there's PCIe 6.0 with infinite support for future PCIe generations that fit in the slot. These are all going to come from a silicon company, probably Mauser. I mean, this is going to be awesome. Awesome. And what else was there? Then there's the bringing back of the optical drive in both CD, DVD, Blu-ray form, and then the thing that will be backwards compatible with floppy would be the 3.5-inch and the 5-inch and 1-inch versions of advanced disk. However, the second generation advanced disk, high density can't be called that, because you know why. It's the disorder that has the same acronym. So it's advanced disk high capacity. The best part of all is that you can customize motherboards and have them in many variants, like the ones you see at Newegg and Micro Center. Like, everything's configurable and upgradable. Like, you can even upgrade the motherboard on the system to a higher end one. And there may even be a service that provides that upgrade, just like what Apple used to do in the 90s before Steve Jobs ruined the company. And then all user upgradable components. They're all user upgradable. And then there's the embedded DRAM L4 cache. The ones that are going to be made up of memory modules with HBM2E and HBM3 memory. Supporting both in the slot. Much like Intel Xeon Sapphire Rapids, but except for the fact that you can actually replace the EDRAM like you could back in the 90s with the L2 cache. So this is all going to be excellent stuff that Apple won't be able to compete with, because they have no sense in making things good with user upgradability, so they're just going to be toast. And that's all Steve Jobs' fault. And Tim Cook's an even more dangerous man than Steve Jobs, much like how Tiny D is worse than the Trumper.